Everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at the king of Pokemon, Bibarel, in the History Cup. So Bibarel with that normal and water typing is super good versus the ghost types in the History Cup that has been very dominant, such as Dusknoir and Drifblim, and it also has Surf to deal with the most prominent Pokemon there is, which is Gastrodon, and it also has Rollout to deal with all those flyers as well as ice type Pokemons that you may see, and it just has overall good coverage as well as bulk. And we are going to pair it up with Shadow Drapion as well as Drifblim. So let me know how you've been doing in History Cup and whether you have any success, and let us get into the battles. So going into the first battle, we have here Shadow Bibarel versus an Abomasnow, a very neutral matchup. As long as we shield correctly, we would be good, but they will bank that energy and swap into their Spiritomb, and we are going to try to get their shields first before swapping into our Drapion, because at this point it's like if we swap immediately we will get the Rock Tomb debuff on Drapion, but unfortunately that just means our Bibarel will be quite low on health before we take out the Spiritomb, and their Abomasnow is still quite high on health. And here they have a Bibarel of their own in the back, and this is very dangerous for us because we have a Drifblim at the back that won't be able to do almost nothing to their Bibarel, and we have our very low health Bibarel as well, and hopefully they don't shield this, and they don't, because they don't have any more shields, and we are going to believe in the balloon to take us the win, and we are going to shield the first one, hoping that it will most probably not take us out, but they do have a second one ready to go, and it does do about 60% of our health, and we are immediately going to launch our Shadow Ball, which will be enough for the Abomasnow from this range, and we are going to hex it all the way down to take the win. So I am going to be using a hex variant of Drifblim simply because hex just has a better energy generation compared to Astonish. Even though Astonish does do a lot more damage, I feel like Astonish works better if you're using a shadow variant of Drifblim instead. So here we are going to be met with a Gastrodon, and the way it works here against Gastrodon is we are going to try and catch the second body slam onto our Drifblim because it will be double resisted, and here we are going to be met with a Shadow Staraptor. Again, Shadow Staraptor with Gus is just very hard to like count the moves because it just is very spammy to say the least, and Gus animation is just very confusing in general. I'm not sure whether it's a 3 or 4 a 3 turn or 4 turn fast move. Do let me know which one is it. And here is where I think I made a mistake. I could have tanked a few more mud slaps here and go for the Aqua Tail to take the Gastrodon out, but because we had to use our energy from the Bibarel, we will not have the energy or the health to take out the Togekiss, and that is a loss for us. So even though we did lose that match, this team did fairly well for me. It did bring me up from the 2100 yellows to the 2300 yellows, so it is fairly good for that climb around that yellow range especially. But you do have to like invest in your shields, especially in the mid game for Drifblim, in order to win the lead, especially if the matchup, like in this instance, you get Toxicroak like basically surviving with 1 HP. But as you can see here, we are going to get back the reward of that matchup immediately with 2 shields from their side as well. And here they made a mistake to swap out from their Drifblim into their Spiritomb, and here we are going to be able to take them out. And this is what I feel about History Cup, is that it's very rock paper scissorsy, but if you do have the right balance like this team does, you can somehow work your way around it and do climb the ranks. But the big what I would think the biggest weaknesses to this team would be a Lucario as well as a Spiritomb in the lead. Spiritomb, of course, having access to Rock Tomb, will wreak havoc versus our Drifblim, as well as our Bibarel, because Bibarel will get hit with a debuff, and Sucker Punch is a very oppressive fast move, and Lucario, depending on whether it runs Force Palm or Bullet Punch, if I'm mistaken, will do a lot of damage, especially if we wrongly shield the bait and they go for the power up punch instead of the Thunder Punch, and that will just snowball and win them the game solely with Lucario. But in this game we do not have Lucario, but we will be met with a Gliscor, and here they decided to not shield at all, which will be good for us because now we are able to use our Drifblim in the end game to seal the match. Unfortunately, for this Hisuian Lilligant is just not its day, because upper hand will be doubly resisted by that Ghost and Flying typing, and here we are going to bank a lot of energy before they are able to swap out, because we know that that will be their main win con, and here they will swap back in with their Hisuian Lilligant, and we do reach a third IC win to take them out. So going into the next battle, we have a Shadow Dusknoir, and they immediately swap into a Shadow Drapion, and here is the same principle as the Spiritomb. We want to same principle as the Gastrodon, sorry, we are going to catch the second charge move onto our back Pokemon, but in this case the Drapion, unfortunately they did hold on to that energy a bit more disciplined than our previous opponent, and they will be able to throw Aqua Tails onto our Drapion, but it is okay because we have done enough damage to them in this instance where their back Pokemon not be able to deal with us that well. And here they have a Vespiquen with Fury Cutter and Power Jam, and here they do reach a Power Jam before we reach a IC win, which is very unfortunate because now we are going to be taken out quite easily by an Exezer, if I'm mistaken. And now we are going to come in with our Bibarel and farm them all the way down, and with that energy we are going to be able to take them out. And it is before that they do catch our Surf, which is good for them. Fortunately for us and unfortunate for them, Bibarel does farm up energy quite fast, and their Astonish does not do very well against us, and they needed 2 Shadow Punches to take us out because we do have a shield left, and we do take that game. So in this last game we do have a Drapion again, so we are going to try it one more time and see whether or not we are able to catch a charge move onto our Drapion, hopefully a crunch, because that will be resisted by our own Drapion. And here we are able to do it, which is very awesome, but unfortunately it was not a crunch at all, so that means they will be able to outpace us to Aqua Tails, and this is where the spam, the Aqua Tail spam is very important, because now we are able to chunk their Bastiodon down as much as possible before our Bibarel comes in, and we are able to salvage our Drapion for the sack swap later on. And here they are able to survive one Surf, and we are going to shield our Bibarel and try to farm them all the way down. And here we are going to try to also go for the Surf against them to take their last shield, and here we are unfortunately not able to get to another charge move to take them out. So here is also another problem for us, because now we have a Bastiodon as well as a Drapion, so this catch was massively important for us to win the game, because now we are able to debuff them with Icy Wind, and them, if they hold their nerve, they are able to get to crunch, but unfortunately they will throw one Poison Sting before they get to crunch, so the Aqua Tail will land against us, but it will be in vain, their sack swap of Bastiodon, because now we have a Shadow Ball ready to go for their own Drifblim to win the game. So that is all with this Bibarel team. So Bibarel has been clutch for me in this World Cup, especially after the teething problems of the first few sets of it, and once I landed on this team, it just like became incredibly good for me in my climb. So with that, that is the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.